Do you perhaps have a wounded inner child or a wounded inner teenager? Hey there guys, this is Coach Malebu, a holistic life and wellness coach working with the well-being of mind, body and spirit. I'm also an accredited meditation practitioner and have published 2 awesome books called The Journey and Confessions. And welcome to this amazing TV show. Welcome to Malebu TV, a place of transformation and wellness. Today we're talking about wounded inner child and wounded inner teenager. Can you believe? So with me guys, I have been wounded in both areas. I don't know about other people. Maybe someone would say, I do not have a wounded inner child. But with me then, my story is simple. When I was between the ages of 8 and 11, I was sexually abused and I was still a child. I mean, wow. So that was me, you know, the introduction of pain in my life was that way. So yeah. Now, obviously, because of the sexual abuse, I had so many doubts in men and how I even view men. And I would think of men as dogs, you know, that they cannot love you, they cannot protect you. And I had been controlling all my life, you know, not controlling other people. Maybe I am, we don't know. But anyway, trying to control the results because of my child, you know, my childhood trauma. The child in me is saying I am wounded, and the time when I felt unsafe, when I couldn't control anything, remember, she is always reminding me of that. And then the second part was of me becoming a teenager. So when I was becoming a teenager, I was introduced to alcohol and cigarette. So introduction to alcohol and cigarette, and by those times, I think it was the early 2000s, that people were not so used to women smoking that we earned a title of being prostitute. So we were those type of people with my friends that parents would say, do not look like Malebu, you know, do not, by the way, they used to call me with my first name, do not look like Maizo, because Maizo is 1, 2, 3, and 4, and she will never amount to anything, you know. So here is me as a child. I have been, you know, I felt like telling them that, y'all know what I have been through, you know, because I had been sexually abused, and now people are just forming things about me. You know, when you are an example in the village, you are an example. Okay, example number 1, Maizo, do not look like Maizo. You know, and I'm laughing now because I have been going into a process of healing. But before I went into a process of healing, this was a very sensitive issue to me. So I have a wounded inner child, or I had a wounded inner child and a wounded inner teenager within me. So how do you then see that you do have this type of things? Most of the time when you are a child and you are wounded, whether it's big trauma like, you know, sexual abuse, or it's very small things, you feel unsafe wherever you are, whether you are with your parents and you are with whomever, you feel unsafe and you feel insecure. And those things are going to come out when you are older, when you are, you know, our age, 32, whatever. Now you are in a relationship and you do not feel secured about this very person. My light is going off. I don't know why. You know, so you will feel insecure about either yourself or the people that you are with. I know of people who always think that people are talking about them, and that's not necessarily true. It's because of the wounded inner child who is so insecure about themselves that they're thinking always that, oh, people are going to bewitch me, or people are talking about me, or people are doing 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Right? And also the teenager can also feel like that. So whenever you are traumatized, every time it forms some, what do they call them in biology? Okay, brain cells, whatever. We're going to call them brain cells today. And those cells will always be there within you, that every time there is something that looks like what you have been through, it will now, those cells will now keep a memory and say, hi, you remember in 1990 this 1 and 2 and 3 happened, and now it will try to protect you. And sometimes it is not necessarily true that what was happening at that moment, it was what was happening in 1992. So most of us, and I see this mostly in marriages and relationships, people trying to love other people. You know, I'm trying to love this person and they cannot love me back. Do they know what love is? Because if you have been wounded as a child, whether you have lost your mother as a child, or you have lost your parent, or you have lost somebody who is dear to you, you did not understand what death was at that moment, and pretty much a lot of people do not even understand up until today. Right? So as a child, you have lost your mother and you have lost what you called love. Now you are meeting Malebu, who you do not have an idea that Malebu felt that way. You know that Malebu lost somebody that was dear to her heart, but then now you don't know how I interpreted that very story in my mind. Right? And when you say you love me, my brain cells, whatever, are telling me that, you know, I've heard of people love me and they left me. My mother left me. And because my mother left me, I'm not going to trust anyone who says they love me. I'm going to protect myself. So most people are in relationships, in marriages with people who are wounded, who have inner wounded children and inner wounded teenagers. And you have no, absolutely, you like, I'm trying to love this person. I know of other people who, you know, I'm not a relationship coach, but the work that I'm doing, because I heal people from the roots, it also heals relationships. I have most of my clients would come to me and say, you know, my husband and I now are so happy. And I'm like, oh, that's good. But I am not a relationship coach. I'm dealing with the root of the problem that causes what may be the issue in your marriage, in your relationship, in you not attracting the people that you want in your life. So there are other people also who were very vocal, who were, you know, very vocal when they were children, and now they were always like, what do they call this? They were always reprimanded for, why now you are always doing this, you are always, even though it's those ones like us. With me, I was not talking that much when I was a child. But anyway, then you have other people who were talkative as children, and they were blamed. Yes, that's the word I was looking for, this English. So they were blamed for everything, and they had to defend themselves. Guess what? In their adulthood, you are going to try to say, hey, you know, my husband or my wife, I love you so much, but I don't like 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. They are not going to be responding from what the issue is, but they are going to be responding from their wounded inner child, because the wounded inner child used to be blamed for everything under the sun. Now you are coming with your own methods of trying to blame them. It looks to them, even though you are trying to show them that actually the problem is this, maybe we can try and fix it this way. So they are never wrong. They are never wrong. They're always defending themselves because of what? Because of a wounded inner child. So if you are here and you know that you also have traumas that you have endured throughout your entire life, you have lost somebody, you have, you know, some things are very, like I said, it does not have to be like rape or death or something like that. It can be something very small. Like on my other video, I shared about how my heart chakra was affected by the birth of my brother when I was 4 years. And at 4 years old, your heart chakra develops, because it's the 4th energy center in you. So when the result of my heart energy center being developing at that time, I'm introduced to the news that my brother, you know, I have somebody else who's going to take the love. And now I interpret all of that wrongly, when my parents really loved me. They did not, sideline me or something. This is me as a child interpreting the world around me the way I feel it was good for me. So you might also have the same type of issues, and you want to heal your inner child. I always say, go back, and watch. It's like you're watching your life. If it's in a meditative state, ask the people around you, what happened to me what was happening, and if you don't remember, because part of my life I don't remember, especially when we were younger. I don't even remember. There was a session that I did, and I was with my coach, who told me that at 14 years I'm like, 14, what was I doing? Sometimes we don't remember, but we can always go back to other people who can, maybe our siblings, or we can also ask God to remind us of what happened to us. Because sometimes when trauma happens, it shuts down your conscious mind, which is the thinking mind. But it goes to the subconscious mind, the driving force of your life. And now when you are making decisions, you are not making decisions from your thinking mind. You are making decisions from the storage system, which is the subconscious mind. Now the subconscious mind remembers what had happened to you. It hasn't forgotten. It remembers. Now you are making decisions that are contradicting with the things that you want, until you don't know, because of what had happened to you. So go back and heal the inner child, firstly by understanding what you have been through, acknowledging what you as a child have went through. I have to always acknowledge that myself have went through a lot. I have grown through a lot, guys. Like I was exposed to life at a very, very young age. And sometimes there are times when I feel like, oh my gosh, I'm crying and all that. I know that is my wounded inner child trying to tell me, today I don't feel good. And I acknowledge them. So the wounded inner child and the wounded inner teenager, they always want to be acknowledged. Don't, when you're feeling sad and all that, and then you're like, I'm going to say affirmations. Why are you feeling sad? Ask yourself, why am I feeling sad today? And you'll find out that it's the wounded inner teenager or child who is trying to emerge and say, can you please acknowledge that I am part of your life, and also acknowledge the pain that I have been growing through, and also, help me be safe, and after you understand the pain, the trauma, I had to really sit down and understand my pain and my trauma and other things that I don't talk about publicly. And I'm like, yeah, I understand when you are sad. And all we need to do is to acknowledge that these people, or a part of us, actually it's not people, it's a part of us that has been wounded. And we have to say, I'm sorry, but today you are safe. I am reparenting you with love and compassion. You understand? So, and again, I'm doing a new program, because that's who I am. I'm doing a new program where we're going to literally reset our lives and understand the pain that we have been growing through, so that we can pull out from those energies and and elevate ourselves to higher dimensions in our lives. So if you would really want to be part of that paid program, you can also, I'm going to put up my email address and also my cell phone number, that you can email me so that we can work. This is going to be an online class where we're going to start by loving ourselves, because we have never been taught how to love. That is why we cannot even love our inner child. Like when your inner child is so feeling so horrible, you're thinking, oh my God, why am I always feeling like this? Why am I always thinking like this? It's the inner child trying to say, can you acknowledge my pain? And just like anybody who would, let's just say your friend just lost somebody dear to their heart, what would you do? You will feel that pain for them. You will say, I'm sorry, right? You'll say, I hope things are going to be okay with you, or I'm praying for you. Why can't you do that for yourself? That's the thing. So 2021, yeah, that's it. 2021, we are resetting our lives, and this program is 500 per month. If you want to be part of it, please let me know, and I will add you to the program. We're going to have a good time together. And while we are at it, please click on the subscribe button. Let us grow the community. I love you guys. Thank you for watching, and please share this with your friends and your family, and enjoy your holidays. Goodbye.